Hello, loves. Tracy Lee, self-love master coach, coming to you live from my little office in Houston, Texas, where I'm going to make the big loud air conditioner be quiet. If you're here, please say hello. If you're here, please share with someone that you know. If you're watching the replay, please put your favorite heart or love emoji in the comments. Hello, Amanda and Mary. So much to connect. So much is going on in our world right now. I have seen several people post that they're just overwhelmed, done, can't take anymore. 2020 can suck it. I'm not going to talk about what I imagine my Black friends are feeling because I can't know. I can imagine what the mothers are feeling because I'm a mother, and I can imagine if I were afraid for my children's lives. What I am really seeing right now is this big picture of all things the antithesis of love. Condemnation, blame, hatred, judgment, people fighting about us, people fighting about their civil liberties, people fighting for their lives, everybody fighting. And honestly, it hurts my heart more than I can express. I'm not sure how or why I get to be in a place where I am able to feel love for people who make different choices than me, who have a different color skin than me, a different religion, a different political background, who are different than me, without feeling threatened by their way of being. What we all need to do right now is find compassion and empathy, which are components of love, and dial the volume knob up to max volume. I don't know if part of it is having been raised Jewish and grown up in a Jewish home. I don't really know what it is, but I know that I want everybody to have it. I want everybody to catch it. I want everybody to stop being so afraid of people who are different than them. It's not a threat to your way of being. It's just not. All of the cliches, all of the live and let live cliches, all of the love is the answer cliches, all of that, cliches exist because they're true. Thanks, Scott. I love you, sweetie. So much of what I've experienced in my life, maybe it's because I had a mentally handicapped brother and I grew up with all kinds of people who are very different from me in a lot of ways, from an intellectual and a physical boundary standpoint. I don't really know what it is. Maybe that's just what I'm here to do and to teach, but I can tell you this. When we feel threatened because someone looks different than us, acts different than us, believes different than us, prays different than us, calls God something different than us, chooses to love someone or something different than us, raises their children different than us, it's not a threat to who we are and how we choose to be. We have to learn how to love each other and our differences. We have to learn how to have a conversation about our differences. We have to learn how to say, wow, that's interesting. I do it so differently. I want to know more. Can you tell me? We have to seek to understand, to try to just be in a dialogue instead of just bashing each other and beating the shit out of each other because we're different from each other. It's time for that just to be over. I can't imagine that anyone is not just tired of that. That is my brain and my heart and how I work. So what can I do? There's a lot of talk about, what can I do as a white woman? What can I do as a person in the New Heart movement, in the New Thought movement, as a teacher, as a life coach? What can I do? What can this little white woman do? And what I can do is what I do, which is talk about love and teach love and experience love. And hear me when I say that love is not all, fairy floss and rainbows and unicorn farts. That is not what it is. Sometimes love is hard truth. Hard truth. Sometimes love is, I love you enough to say the thing that I think is going to piss you off, even if it means you hate me. I love you that much. I'm not afraid for you to hate me. And all I can say to you today is, how can you love more today? How can you love more in this moment? How can you love yourself more? How can you love your loved ones more, your children more, your parents more, your siblings more, your friends more, your coworkers, the person who annoys you most? How can you love them more? How can you love your teachers more? How can you today just put more love in the world? Lordy mercy, if we just each did that today, just today, who can you think that you haven't spoken to in a long time, that you are concerned about, that you're worried about, that just their face pops up in your brain? Who can you think to message today, to call today, to love on today? If we just all do that, if we encourage other people to do that, I imagine it will be felt. I imagine there will be a ripple effect in the world. How can we just love more today and stop hurting each other and hurting ourselves? You are the other me. We are more connected than most of us dare to realize. So how can you turn up the volume on love today? You be a beacon of greater love today. Who can you touch, hug, send a virtual hug to? Who can you love on that you miss? Scott just loved on me. I haven't seen Scott in I don't know how many years. And I love him and I care about him, and we have shared experiences that are rich and funny and beautiful, and I would go back there in a heartbeat to experience some of those things. Who can you love on more today? How can you just be more love in the world today on purpose? And I'm not talking about just thinking about it, y'all. I'm talking about like right now in the comments, write down, what can you do today more than you did yesterday or more than you did this morning to love yourself, to love your people, and to love somebody you haven't seen or spoken to in a long time? What can you do to turn the volume up on love in your life right now and the people around you, so that you are blasting it out and radiating it into the world? This is how I do it. This is what I do. If this works for you, you can hit the share button. That can be one of the things that you do to put more love in the world. You could join Self-Love Masterclass today. You could just call somebody you haven't spoken to in a long time. You could call somebody you spoke to 5 minutes ago. I don't care what it is. I don't care what it is. Can you double, triple, or quadruple your love output today? I know I can. I know I will. I know I'm going to try. I know I'm going to pray out loud to the God of my understanding. Who can I love for you today? That's my prayer every day. Really, truly, it is. That's my prayer every day. But put somebody in my mind's eye today, God, that I haven't thought of, somebody who really needs it today. Who can I reach? Who can I wrap my arms around energetically and just hold them and let them cry or let them feel loved or whatever it is? How can we all double and triple and quadruple the output of love we're putting in the world today? How can we do that? What's your part? I'm not out in the world very much right now because that's just my choice. I'm choosing to stay home still. And today I had a doctor's appointment and I went out into the world and I'm going to pick up my favorite breakfast tacos because in Austin, that's like church. So I went and I got my favorite breakfast tacos and there's a guy standing there. I don't know him. He works for the University of Texas. I can tell because he's got a shirt on and he's got a mask on. And I said to him, it's so weird not to see people smile, isn't it? And I could tell he smiled under his face mask because his eyes smiled. And we chit-chatted for a while, like human beings, like people. I don't know his name. He needed to tell me some of his story about how he's been working. I just loved on him. How can we do more of that? How can you do more of that? What is yours to do today? How can you amp up your love today? And share it with as many people as you can. Can you think of 8 people you can message and just say, I'm thinking of you and I love you? Surprise some people with your love today. Surprise some people. Light them up. How can you light them up? On Masterclass on Saturday, one of my clients came into the Zoom room and I made a big old fuss about, hey, it's so good to see you. But you could just see her just beam. Who can you light up today? And how can you light yourself up today? For sure. How can you make sure that you are resourced? Maybe what you need to do is you need to ask for more love. Thanks, Jen. I love that. I appreciate you. Jen saying, thanks, lady. I'll love on more folks today and sending back to you too. You are loved. I appreciate you, friend. I appreciate you. Jen's a new friend, a friend of a friend. If you are needing more love today, ask for that, own that. Say, I'm feeling depleted, I don't have anything else to give, and I need somebody to just pump me full of some sort of goodness and love and gentleness and compassion and understanding. It's okay to ask for what you need. That's an act of love. You give somebody else an opportunity to love on you. Trust me when I say that feels real, real good. How can you double, triple, quadruple, 10 times amplify the amount of love output you put into the world yesterday? This is what's mine to do. I don't know that it's going to fix anything for people who are hurting. I have no earthly idea, but it's what I can do today. It's what's mine to do. It's how I help create the world that I want to see. And I can encourage you guys to do it too. So, how can you amp up your love? If you are needing more love, God, just own that. Look, I even have days like that where I'm like, I got nothing left to give and I'm dialing for love. Who can love me up today? It's true. But I love myself, and so I ask for what I need. If that's what you need today, you hit me up with a personal message, with a private message. I will love on you. Ask other people. I promise I will. And if you're feeling filled with gratitude and filled with tenderness and filled with compassion and overflowing with love, then who can you love on and how can you push that out into the world today? Please. That's my prayer. My prayer is everybody who hears this just does a little more, just loves a little more or a whole lot more. And let's just see how it changes your world, just your world, how it changes how you feel when you love more or when you ask for what you need. Just play a little game with me. Let's just experiment today and love on people. Turn your volume up all the way to max volume on love. And turn down all the way until it clicks off judgment and taking things personally and condemnation and blame and shame and all of those other things. And let's just push as much love as we can into the world. Please. Please. And so it is. Amen and amen. So much love.